Hello, it's Thursday, July 5th, 2012 at 6:47 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And I wanted to show you a couple things that are happening. First, I want to focus on a small storm up here just north of Iowa, which is near my location. And then I also wanted to talk to you about these bubbles that are rising up here in Alabama. First, let's look at what's happening in Iowa. This is interesting in that we've got a beam coming out of Minneapolis here, focused or directed towards Sioux Falls, and it seems to kind of be running, see, right in through here. This is a wind farm right here. So what I'm assuming it's doing is taking some energy from that wind farm, and I'm not sure if that's being used to create this storm, but right in here you'll see one rise up right at the beam. The beam pretty much focuses here on Sioux Falls. You see that just rises up right there. But also we've got, since Des Moines updated its radar not too long ago, I did a video on it, and I'll put a link to that. We also, looks like, have a beam coming out here. It's really hard to see though, because it looks like a dotted line, but it's moving back and forth across the face of this storm. What it looks like it's doing is holding back the storm, because it's not progressing past the state line here. See it? It just kind of stays right there. And we need rain right now. If the crops don't get some soon, the farmers are concerned. But then they're always concerned, but you know, I guess they have something to be concerned about. But they are desperately wanting this rain, and it looks like it might be being held back. Whoops. My computer's starting to redraw things on me now, which is kind of inconvenient, and I can't quite seem to figure out how to switch it back where it keeps the loops that I load. Let's see, let me slow that down just a little bit, and let's zoom in on this. Let's see if it helps see it here. And then the spiky beam that comes out, right, well, that doesn't show very good, right there, that's the Terminator beams. But see how this is, see, it just dances right there on the edge, whereas it appears to be moving this direction to start with. And I talked about the Terminator beams, and I want to show you here. This line between light and day, that's the Terminator Line. And as this line comes across the United States, what happens is each Doppler puts out a beam. And so that's why I call them Terminator beams, because they happen at at the same time the Terminator Line happens or comes across an area. And then I also want to do in Alabama here, we have got these little bubbles rising up. Now these used to happen or show up in Texas, and someone said they were bats, but clearly they're not bats. But again, we've got the Terminator beams coming through let's see when they rise up. Here's one starting right here, and then also we've got a beam coming out of I don't know where that's at. We'll check in a minute maybe. But here's one here, and here. These two are at lakes. I checked it out, and there's a lake at each of these locations. This is Wheeler Lake. It's right at the point where the reservoir connects. And this one, there was no name on it. You can locate things by clicking on this county map, and then you see where the little county things match up. And you go over to Google Earth, and well, here's that one lake, and I'll show you how that works. And see, at a certain point, the counties show up. Let me zoom out a little bit. And so then you just look at the shape of the county that, you know, you get this here, and it lines up here, and then right above it. So I go back and check this, and the squiggly one, there's a line right above it. Go back to Google Earth, and then you just zoom in on that area. And it doesn't look like there's a dam or anything, or, you know, a dam that produces power, so I'm not quite sure why those bubbles would build up around a lake. Maybe it's moisture. Why it would appear in a circle would be the question then. And then there's another one at, let's see if I can find it here, Jackson, I think. Birmingham, that's where the Doppler is located. Sorry about that. Geography just was not my, let's see. The other one was right here. And I think there's Jackson here. But I couldn't find a clear water source. Going back here, let me show you where we're talking about. Wait till they rise up here. All right, down in here, turn on the counties, and it comes around here, and it's just to the right of where that swings over there. And so go here. This is where it swings over, just to the right. And all that I'm seeing here is a sewage plant for Jackson, City of Jackson Sewage Lagoon. There's also something right next to it, which I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of washed out. An operation of some sort. And then of course we've got all this, there are a lot of industrial things right on the river here. And I'm not sure what all that's about either. For all our technology, these maps really aren't as good as they could be. All right, so let's go back to these. I want to show you the Terminator beams here. They're coming through right here. Let's turn the counties off. It looks kind of messy. And this is College of DuPage. Right here, actually, we've got a Terminator beam coming right through one of the circles. I mean, right at the center. So, and the circles are happening before the Terminator beams come through. Let's go backwards here. See, they rise up, and then here's the first Terminator beam showing up right here. And then it moves over this way to the west. Now, and I'm not sure if this beam is playing in on that either, but it looks like we've got one coming out here too. The beams used to show up better, but they kind of played around with things and it doesn't show up so good anymore. But right here we've got this one coming right through the center of it. And I assume that's no coincidence. And these beams are 90 degrees to the line. So anyway, I just wanted to bring those things to your attention. God bless you. Have a good day.